Yeah, I didn't think anybody was here, so I was just waiting for people to join the stream. What's up, guys? Happy Monday! Welcome back to our live stream here on Twitch. I'm your humble host, Phantom Freak, aka Moistmaster Flex. Back at it, back once again. Um, yeah, I hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good start to your week. Good Monday. Um, yeah, my weekend was pretty chill. Actually, I stayed in most of the weekend. There's no shows to go to this weekend, which is a kind of like a nice a welcome chill weekend where I could just like work on music. Like, I haven't really been able to do that for a while. But yeah, we're back in it. Oh, you're a J boy right now. Hell yeah. Um, so yeah, let's get started here with our releases. We got Activator with Tubalo on Thick Freakness. We got My Friend Remix on 3000 Bass. Oh, it might be My Friend. My Friend. Excuse me. We got Fresh Cut Freaks. We got Newsflash on Gold Digger. We got In the House on Thick Freakness. We got Menace, which just came out this past Friday on Bite This. We got Synchronicities coming up this Friday. And then I have another tune coming out this month. I don't have a fan link just yet, but once I get it, I can share that. But I have a tune with Rhiannon Rose coming out on Garage Shared on, what is that? The 19th, so about 2 weeks from now. So yeah, go take a look at those. We got our shows. We got a after hours coming up this Saturday, downtown LA. That's with Krista Tongues, myself, Hot Fire, J Boy, and Rhiannon Rose. We got. I didn't put this link in yet, but playing in Phoenix on October 18th. It'll be me, Luxo, and Not Yours. And then I'm playing this festival in November. November 9th. Go ahead and grab tickets for that. A pretty dope festival out in Norco. We also got some more after hours coming up in October and November. But I just don't have flyers or RCP links yet. So just be on the lookout for those. Lastly, we got our sponsor here, Eargasm. If you guys need earplugs for shows, go ahead and go cop some. Use the code Phantom10 at checkout. All right, let's get started here. For those of you who have been here before, you guys know the deal already. Those of you who have not, I take these tracks first come, first serve basis on the Google form. Yeah, these are already in order as I receive them. Only 6 submissions tonight, so it might be a quick stream. If everybody's here or everybody's not here, then it might be even quicker. But yeah, you guys are welcome to skip the line if you need to. Okay, I'll skip you. If you guys need to skip the line, you guys are more than welcome to. You guys just got to use your channel points or send money to the bottom left there. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I'm going to name out the queue right now so you guys know your rats, and we'll get started. First up, we have Nero. Actually, JJ was supposed to be first, but he wanted me to skip him. So we got Dare 80. We got King Hong. We got Melee. got Misguided, and Criminal Agent. Okay, yeah, no problem. We could do that. All right. Excuse me. All right, first up, do we have Neuro here? Neuro in the chat. Neuro in the chat. Anomaly, is that you? Anomaly, are you Nero? Si, senor. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's listen to this tune.
Damn. Damn.
Nice. Super huge big sound here. What would this genre even be considered? I'm really curious, because this is basically, it sounds a lot like halftime mid tempo, which is a really interesting thing to say out loud. um, yes, indeed, quite fat. The pH. Yeah, what genre is this though? I'm curious. Curious. It's like down tempo glitch hop. Nice. Yeah, it's mid tempo. Okay. Yeah, dude, this is really cool. I'm really digging the sound selection here. I actually wrote down here. It feels like, especially this intro, it feels a lot like an 80s sci-fi horror, especially with a lot of like the kind of the synths that you picked. It feels like it feels like retro in a way, but it's really cool. It always, all of it really adds to this kind of theme. Really kind of glitchy sort of sounds, really kind of computery and technologic. Super cool idea. Really digging the intro. Especially those snares. The snares are really nice. Really cool, really big intro, really nice melodic elements, really dope sound selection. Definitely tells a story here, which is really cool. Again, feels like an 80s, almost like an 80s sci-fi horror. Really nice tension in the build, really big energy there. Really big drop. Super big drop. I was actually almost expecting more 4 on the floor here, especially on that first drop. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to do the halftime, but I was almost like aching and yearning for some 4x4 mid tempo. So, I mean, it's not necessary because it's your track, but I think that would be a good thing to add in here. At least like the first drop, or at some point in both drops, having a 4x4 section and then go into like the halftime, or use the halftime as like a fake out and then go into the 4x4, one or the other, you know. You can play around with it, but I think having a 4x4 section in there would be really dope. Because yeah, like going into the drops, I was really surprised because I was actually expecting a 4x4 drop, and then I got hit by the halftime. So like, okay, this is cool, like not bad, it's really dope, but I was almost like just like yearning for it. Yeah, you definitely experiment with it. I would say try it out, see if you like it, see if you get a feel for it, and see if it works for you, you know. But I think it would be really cool to hear like some 4x4 in here. Really huge low end. I think mix wise, everything here is super fucking clean. You paid Josh to be your friend. That's not true. Really cool second break. Overall, very solid arrangement. I really enjoyed both break sections. They add a lot of like kind of like drama and tension, which is what you really need, really want. And the second break feels very cinematic. Yeah, honestly, everything here sounds really dope. Yeah, my only recommendation is just to add in some 4x4 somewhere in the track, and I think that it'll make this track even better. But yeah, super dope Nero, really dope idea, really cool tune here. Hell yeah. Excuse me. All right. Up next we got King Hong, because he used the skip. King Hong submitted 2 tunes, so I'll do the first one right now, then we'll go back to Young JJ, and then back to King Hong again since he used the skip, then Melee, then Misguided, then Criminal Agent. Yeah, no problem, man. And then we got one from the man's Choli too. All right, let's give this one from King Hong a listen.
Audio visual experience. Visual experience. Visual experience. Audio visual experience.
Nice. Yeah, super cool idea. Super groovy overall. Really like the sound selection here. And the sound design. Really cool. Nice kick and bassline groove. Super dope vocal. Nice switch up mid intro. So you kind of started it off different from where it headed, but it was kind of cool actually. I enjoyed it. I mean, the reality is like the only difference there is that the drums. So like it definitely adds a lot more groove when you throw in like the hats and stuff. Uh, Overall, very solid intro here. I like this first break build. Plenty of like nice energy and tension there. First drop is dope. Really cool pitched up like lead synth. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, really cool. I do think that the first drop, actually both drops, both first and second drop are kind of short. Basically, this track made me want more. I think at the bare minimum, you want to add at least like another 8 to 16 bars to both first and second drop. But when you do that, you need to add in more variations. So I would suggest, excuse me, what you could do, instead of the ascending synth, don 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 don, you could probably just do a descending one too. Boom 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 boom. I don't know if it'll work, but you could play around with that. That might be an idea. Yeah, you could definitely play around with the melody a bit, but you definitely need, I think you definitely need some more variations just to keep it from sounding too loopy. I think it's part of the reason why you kept the drop so short. Because yeah, you could definitely get kind of stuck in a loop. But yeah, for sure. Really cool. The foghorn kind of came out of nowhere, but surprisingly, I think it kind of works. It's a really cool sound in that second break there. But the same thing, same kind of feedback that I have with the drops, I think also can apply to the break. That second break is very short, so you don't really get that much of a breather from your main drop section. So I would definitely play around with increasing that and playing around with a little bit of energy and tension. And yeah, that'll definitely add a lot more energy and character to the tune here. Um, yeah, and then same idea with the second drop. Basically, just try to develop it further, add in some more variations, because otherwise it's gonna start getting a little bit loopy. But yeah, overall, very cool idea. Definitely digging the vibes here so far. Hell yeah, King Hong. All right. It looks like we got a skip from the man's Leonard Ellis. So let's go to his tune next. And then Dare 80 after that. Ugh. Yeah, no problem. All right, let's give this one a listen here. Nice. Nice one, bruv. Yeah, it seems like the common feedback here is that the vocal is out of key. Excuse me, vocal is out of key, and I totally agree. I don't think this female vocal really works here. The actual beat itself is really dope. I like the groove. I like the sound selection and stuff, but the vocal here does not. I don't think it works. Um, it definitely has potential. I agree with that, but the vocal is definitely out of key, and then also like rhythmically it doesn't always fit in the spots that you're placing it. So I mean the reality is I would just replace the vocal. um but besides that, I'm digging a lot of there's lots of really cool stuff here. I'm digging the kick. The kick is very nice. Lots of really nice drum sounds. That's kind of something you always do really really well, Leonard Ellis. I love the sub when it actually comes in. Your intros tend to be a little bit long, so it was a little bit of a slow start. But like once the sub comes in, it's like super nice. I love the sub here. Very solid bassline groove you got going on here. um, this next piece of feedback is really more of like a personal aesthetic thing. I probably would have pushed the tempo a little bit, maybe 1 to 2 BPMs, but I tend to write my tracks pretty fast. So I mean, see if it works for you. If it's, if you start to lose that groove, I would advise against it. You know, kind of just feel it out. See if you like it. If you bump up the tempo just a smidge. I like the intro synth, that kind of string. Bing boom bing boom bing bing. But I do think it's quite thin. I might consider using either, if you're gonna move forward with that sound, I would probably add more voices to it, so it kind of just like widens it a little bit more. It gives it a little bit more breadth and depth. So it kind of thickens it up a little bit. Or I would just swap out the sound for something a little bit more, I don't know, appropriate for the vibe you got going on here. Yeah, but I mean, I like the melody itself. I think the sound is just way too thin. It just feels like a very dry nylon guitar, which is not like a terrible thing, but I think just in context with the rest of the sounds, I think it kind of like feels out of place a little bit. Yeah, the little pluck. Solid groove here. Really digging the groove. Overall, very solid arrangement. Again, the female vocal feels out of key and out of place, so I would just rip out that vocal and put something new in there. I really dig the groove in the drops. Really nice ear candy. I think the ear candy is very solid here. And the arrangement's very solid. Yeah, so basically the main thing here is play around with a new vocal, number one. And number two, play around with that main plucky synth, the kind of guitar sounding synth. Either, thicken it up, add more layers, or just, swap out the sound completely for something else. Hell yeah. Good job, Leonard Ellis. Dope tune. Meow, 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 meow. Up next, we got the men's JJ. Let's give this one a listen.
I don't need it.
I know that I'm a freak. Your boy just can't compete. Your head is set free.
Hell yeah. Nice one, bruv. Yeah, dude, I'm digging it. Super dope tempo, really nice energy, lots of really cool sound design. Started from the top here, very nice kick, lots of filtering in the intro, which is really nice. You play around with a lot of automation here, which is dope. Overall, very solid sound selection. Really nice tension in this first build here. The drop is super dope. I'm digging the call response with that respace. I'm a sucker for respaces. Overall, love the sound design. Very dope vocal. I'm assuming that's your vocal. I think it works really well here. Also, very nice tempo. One thing about the vocal, I would probably use it more, actually. I think some sections, I think pretty much the first 8 bars of both drops probably could have used like a little vocal chop. Either a Need It or a Freak. Need It, Freak. No, Freak. Dope, freak. Something like that, you know? You can play around with it. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of potential to use that vocal more, to get more mileage out of it. For sure. Arrangement's super solid. There's a really nice flow to it. And then this last piece is really just like a personal thing. I wasn't entirely crazy about this pluck on the second I guess the second half of the track.
I don't need it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't too crazy about it. I think you could probably find a better sound. I would probably try. That's that's your favorite part. I mean, exactly. I mean, it's really just like a personal kind of aesthetic thing. I mean, if you fuck with it, if you love it, then keep it. Yeah, I think just personally, I probably would have done something different there. But yeah, if you like it, keep it. Fuck it. Don't listen to me. But yes, definitely use the vocal more. I think the vocal definitely has more potential. You can get more mileage out of it. Little vocal chops here and there is like ear candy stuff. But yeah, other than that, it sounds great. Really digging the vibes here. Excuse me. All right, King Hong, are you ready for the second one? Your second tune. Bum, 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 bum. Yep. All right. Actually, I'm gonna go pee real quick and then we'll give this one a listen. Hell yeah. All right, let's do it. Nice, very interesting. Yeah, this is super dope. I'm really digging a lot of the stuff that's going on here. A lot of really cool sound design, sound selection. It almost reminds me of like stuff that like This Ain't Bristol would have put out like I don't know 5 years ago, something like that. It almost feels like a throwback, like a throwback. Who? Like who? Maybe like Bot. Kind of sounds like a Bot tune, I think. But it's pretty much that's the only name that's really coming to my mind right now is Bot. And that's cool. Yeah, I haven't heard stuff from Bot in a long time, but this definitely gives me Bot vibes. Huge kick. I put here. I wasn't really crazy about the clap. However, I noticed that it seems like you might have two different claps going on. You have a clap in the intro and the breaks, but there's a different clap in the drop, and I think the clap in the drop is fantastic. It's like exactly what you want for this track. It's very powerful, definitely cuts through the mix. And it just feels really nice. So I think if you could keep that clap consistency throughout the entirety of the track, that would be ideal. Because the one in the intro and the breaks, the clap you have feels a little bit weak, and almost like it feels like it falls off the rhythm a little bit. So it might be ever so slightly off time, unless there's some sort of like delay going on it, or like a tape delay or something, or maybe it's just like pulled back in time a little bit, but it does feel a little bit off. So yeah, what I would probably do is just like I would just keep a very consistent clap throughout, if you're going to do anything to it, I would probably just do a little bit of filtering in the intro and the breaks, and probably just throw on a little bit more reverb, just so that you kind of, if you want a crowd clap, I think that's probably the best thing to do, is a little bit of filtering and a little bit of reverb, and I think that'll kind of give you the effect that you're wanting. But yeah, I think it's best to keep one singular kind of consistent clap through the tune. I really dig this lead and the drop section. It's really cool. Very beep boopy. And mix wise it's perfect because you have like this really heavy low end, boom bum boom bum boom bum boom bum boom bum boom bum, and then you have the synth kind of playing on the top end, and they're not really getting in the way of each other. They're really just like doing their own thing on their own, on the either side of the spectrum. So yeah, mix wise it's probably super easy to mix this, which is good. I think it's a good thing. Very simple but very effective. Yeah, really cool sound selection. Yes, beep boops indeed. Really digging the bassline groove. I also put here the vocal is cool, but it almost feels like it's underutilized because it's kind of like hiding in the mix. So I'm not really hearing too much of it, and it's not really clear. Some parts it's not really clear what the vocal is saying. So yeah, I think the vocal could probably play a bigger role in the track, both from a mixing standpoint as well as also just like I don't know, just like a arrangement standpoint. I think you can probably use the vocal a little bit more in the track, just so that we get a little bit more of a taste of it. And this was a surprisingly short track. So, I mean, the only other thing I would probably suggest is just throw on a little bit of an outro at the end there. Probably get it up to like 2:45 or 3 minutes easily. Yeah, still a whip. Yeah. But yeah, this is a very strong idea though. I think it's already really heading in a good direction though. Hell yeah. Good job, King Hong. Hell yeah. All right. Do we got the man's melee in the chat? Yeah, no problem. Yes, sir. All right. Let's do it. Nice, dude. I'm digging the vibes here, dude. Really sick sound design. Overall, very solid rhythm and groove here. Yeah, super cool. Yeah, love the drum rhythm. That kick snare combo is very nice, very snappy. Definitely cuts through the mix, which is what you want here. Love this low end here. Once the sub comes in, it's very nice, very thick indeed. I put here that the intro is a little bit long. I might cut this down. I would probably cut down like 8 bars at the very beginning, just to trim the fat a little bit. I do like a lot of the melodic elements and the sound selection that you picked, especially in this first break. It's very nice. You get this nice taste of everything, and it doesn't overcrowd or anything. You definitely have enough space here, so you can kind of just like sit with everything, which is really nice. Very solid tension and energy in the build. Haha, nice. Really digging the drop, super fat. Very solid low end. Dig the call response you got going on here. Really cool use of the vocal, like the vocal chops. Very nice ear candy sounds. I think you did a really good job with adding in variations. So it definitely didn't get boring in the least bit. There's definitely something always new going on, some additional layers or just some additional changes in the mid bass, which is really cool. I would probably just add in a smidge more reverb on your mid bass sounds, just to give them a little bit more depth. I loved when this breakbeat came in. Very sick addition there, really nice layer. I put here the first drop was actually kind of long, in my opinion. I think what you could probably do here, because you did mention that you were having trouble with the outro, I think what you could do, and you wouldn't really have to change much, is basically pull out the last 8 to 16 bars of this first drop and basically just throw it to the end of the second drop. Oh shit. Back. Guess who's back? Okay, I'm back. All right. As I was saying, you did mention that you were having issues completing the outro, and I have a solution for you, because I think this first drop is kind of long. I think you could probably just like chop out this last 8 to 16 bars, probably 16, I think you could chop out 16 bars here and basically throw it at the end of the track here. So like this last bit, just like rip it out and then pull it over here as your outro. And I think that'll work. That'll basically accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. Only because this first drop does get long. I don't think it's loopy in any way. Like, you definitely did have enough variation there to keep it going. But I was almost just like waiting for the break to come when, you know, you have basically, I want to say this is probably what, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. It's basically, it looks like it's 40 bars. And I think you can probably get away with chopping out the last 16 here and throwing it at the end of the second drop, and that'll basically give you what you need. You can basically just call it a day after that. I really think that's all you need. You could probably get away with bringing that breakbeat sample back in the second drop too. I think that would be cool because it was really cool to hear it in the first drop. So I think just like as a callback, having it come back in the second drop would just be, you know, just like a nice cherry on top. A cherry on top, excuse me. 40 bars isn't small, it's average. Are we still talking about music here or what? Anyways. Yeah, really dope tune. Really digging the idea. Good job, Young Melee. Hell yeah. All right, Misguided. We got Misguided in the chat. I think, who was it that said, Criminal Agent, you said that you submitted another tune. I didn't get another tune from you. At least I don't see it in the Google form. It's the K-pop one. Oh, this one. Oh, this one. Okay, cool. So I'll just swap that out then. All right. Misguided is here. Let's do it. Whoops, sorry. Clicked the wrong window. All right. Nice one. Yeah, dude, super sick vibes here. Really cool sound design. Lots of really nice energy here. The vocal is super dope. Really top notch there. Yeah, lots of really cool stuff here. I love the intro, like backwards pianos. Those reverse pianos are really cool. The vocal for me in the intro, I think the vocal runs a little bit hot in the mix. I think that's just a matter of just kind of just bringing it down a little bit. I think it definitely has some nice presence, but there's some points where it does run a little bit hot. So either that's a mastering thing or it's just a mixing thing, or one or the other. But just something to be mindful of. I love a lot of the melodic elements that you picked. Everything works really well together. All those chords with the vocal, there's a nice, interplay between the two of them. I put here the reverb and delay on the vocal has a really long tail. In the break sections, it's not that much of a big deal because there's so much space there. But in the drop sections, it's going to cause issues with the mix down, only because you're gonna have a lot of mud in that lower mid range. So what I might do is I might bring in that reverb tail just a bit, and I would probably do the reverb on a return track so you get a little bit more control over it, and you could also sidechain it too. Oh, if it's already on ascend, then good. All you have to do really is just add a sidechain to it, either to the kick or to the main vocal or both. I would play around with both and see which sounds best, essentially. Lots of really cool sound design in the drop. I love a lot of the mid basses. I do think that your kick needs more punch though, and your snare almost feels like non-existent. So the snare here either needs to be bumped up in the mix, or you just need to swap it out for something a little bit more crack, a little bit more snap. So, especially because it's drum and bass, you want to hear that kick and that snare be very present. There's a lot of really cool variations going on with the mid bass, which I really dig. However, there's some points with the mid bass where it kind of falls off the rhythm. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Kind of just stick to your tempo. And yeah, just basically just play the drum beat with just the mid basses and just make sure that it's sticking to that rhythm. I did note here that there's some little clicks in the break section. Let me see if I can pull that up. And what it probably is you have those reverse pianos, so there's probably just a little bit of a portion where you just need to fade it so that it doesn't have such a hard cutoff on some of those samples. So just find out where you're not hitting that zero cross point, and just do a little bit of a fade, just so you don't get those little cracks and pops. Again, love the piano vocal combo. Really nice processing on the second break. I love this second break section where the vocal kind of switches up. The kind of pitch up is really nice. I think it's a really nice addition to the track as a whole. I think it's really cool. And then overall, very solid arrangement. I think it was really easy to kind of follow along and groove along to. So yeah, basically the main thing here, just be mindful of the level on that vocal, as well as the reverb tail on the vocal, and just make sure that your mid basses kind of stick to your drum beat rhythm. And then obviously the kick and the snare need to kind of be dialed in, so they punch more in the mix. Hell yeah. Super dope tune, Misguided. Hell yeah. All right. Yes, sir. Do we got Criminal Agent in the chat? Well, I'm here. Right.
Take it down, 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 down. Huntrix girls took the world. It's a takedown.
So sweet, so easy in the eyes, but hideous on the inside. Whole life spreading lies, but you can't hide. Baby, nice try.
I'm about to switch up these vibes. I finally opened my eyes. It's time to kick you straight back into the night. Cause I see your real face and it's ugly as sin. Time to put you in your place, cause you're rotten within. When your patterns start to show, it makes the hatred wanna grow out of my veins.
I don't think you're ready for the takedown. Break you into pieces in a roll of pain. Cause you're all the same. Yeah, it's a takedown. A demon with no feelings, no deserve it. It's so obvious.
I'ma gear up and take you down.
I don't think you're ready for the takedown. Speaking from the shadows, aiming for your heart. Tearing your apart. It's a takedown. A demon with no feelings, don't deserve to live. It's so obvious.
I'ma gear up and take you down.
Oh, da, da. It's a takedown. Oh, da, da.
I'ma take it down.
Oh, da, da. It's a takedown. Oh, da, da.
Oh, you're the master of illusion. Don't you try me, won't be deceived. Look at all the masses that you're fooling, but they'll turn on you soon. So
How can you sleep or live with yourself? A broken soul trapped in the nastiest shell. You're on the line, your soul is mine. I'll take your life and watch you die.
you can try, but you can't hide. It's a takedown, I'll take you out. You break down my luck. It's a takedown, I'll take you out, and I ain't gonna stop. I'll catch you up and lose control, then without your life, you'll be begging and crying, all of you dying.
I'ma gear up and take you down.
Wow, that's fucking intense. Yeah, I've never actually heard the original of the song, but I'm really digging the vocals here. I think the vocal is very nice. And the reality is, like, I don't know the first thing about hardstyle or hardcore music at all. So I don't really know the ins and outs of the genre and what is, subjectively or objectively good. I couldn't tell you because I don't listen to this stuff. But it's definitely unique. I don't listen to this stuff, so it's definitely unique to my ears. I really like, the idea, and I like this first part of the first drop. I think the second half of the first drop kind of loses the same energy and power that the first half of the first drop has. And I think it's primarily the sound selection. That second kick feels very much more like a bongo than it does a kick. So I think it's just like kind of a mismatch in what's the best word for that? It's a mismatch in energy, I guess. It's a mismatch in kind of just like the vibe. So they almost feel like they're countering each other instead of being like complements. And then this last drop here, I think the last drop just gets kind of busy. So it's hard to kind of focus in on both the melody as well as the kick. So the reality is, like, I really dig this first 8 bars because it's very clear, it's very concise, and it's very, like, from a mixing standpoint, it's very, you can hear everything. You can hear the kick where most of the energy is coming from, and then you hear all the melodic elements in the background, the vocal and all that stuff. The second kind of a more like bongo-y, kind of like, yeah, PVC type sound. It feels like it's mismatched, but again, I don't know the ins and outs of this genre and the style, so that might just be the thing. So I could be wrong, but definitely this last drop does get a little bit busy, so it's difficult to kind of latch on to given any given idea you got going on here. So yeah, I mean, I can only speak to this from a very objective standpoint because I don't know enough about the style to kind of speak about the ins and outs of it. But just from like a basic songwriting standpoint, I do think the second drop probably just needs to be dialed in better, just so that you can kind of get a feel for all of the ins and outs, the little bits, the melodic vibes and everything. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's all I got for you, criminal agent. Hell yeah, brother. Thanks for sending this in. Rock. Is this actually Rock? Young Choli. Rock ID 1. Okay, Choli's here. Okay, we got Choli, we got Cryptic, we got Kiev, Onacity, and Benjamin Button. Is that it? Okay, that's everybody that's in the queue right now. Let's give this one a listen. Nice. Yeah, this is super cool. I was not expecting this, but it was a very welcome change to a lot of the stuff we've been listening to, you know. Nice palate cleanser, you know, some rock as opposed to like just unts, unts, unts. Very nice instrumentation. I think everything sounds very well together. The mix is super clean. It's guitars, both bass and the electric guitar are both very nice. The drums are super crisp and clean. Everything is mixed really well. The reality is, I was almost half expecting some drum and bass here, because it felt like with the intro like kick snare combo, I was like, oh, like this is rock and it's leading into some drum and bass. But yeah, I mean, it's still fucking cool as a rock song though. I think a vocal would definitely pop off in this. And it has a really solid arrangement and structure. I honestly, I hear nothing bad in this at all. You could also, I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably strip this and make a drum and bass track out of it. I think you have all the elements that you would probably need. All you would really need is just a vocal. And you could probably just mess around with some like additional, like a Nero respace or some other really cool like jump up kind of bassline sounds. Yeah, super dope. Good job, young Choli. Hell yeah. Excuse me. All right, do we got Cryptic? Cryptic. Cryptic in the chat. Cryptic going once. Going twice. Alright, no Cryptic. Do we got Keeve? Keeve in the chat. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm gonna go pee real quick and then we'll dive into your tune. All right, let's do it.
Pass that Dutch, give me smoke some. Get down like Snoop on the bubble gum. I'm so fucked up, my face numb. Bust down with a rock on the bass drum. My face numb, 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 my face numb. Pass that Dutch, give me smoke some. Get down like Snoop on the bubble gum. I'm so fucked up, my face numb. Bust down with a rock on the bass drum. Let's kick it. That's that Dutch, let me smoke some. Get down like Snoop on the bubble gum. I'm so fucked up, my face numb. Bust down with a rock on the bass drum. That's that Dutch, let me smoke some. Get down like Snoop on the bubble gum. I'm so fucked up, my face numb. Bust down with a rock on the bass drum. I'm so fucked up, my feet numb. Bust down with a rock on the bass drum.
Switch it.
Nice. Yeah, super cool whip. Very nice start to an idea. I really dig the vocal. The vocal works really well here. Nice low end. The low end is very nice. I think the master overall is a bit squashed. So I think some of your sounds tend to be a little bit more, yeah, they just kind of feel squashed a little bit. So maybe they're like overly compressed. But I think that's an easy fix. Maybe it's just like you have some compression or some limiting going on in the master or just on some of the sounds. So just dial that back a little bit. Really digging the drop here, really digging the sound design and the variations, really cool sound selection. The vocal works really well here. I think primarily you should push the tempo more because the actual groove and the beat feels like it's kind of dragging a little bit. So I would probably push it anywhere from 2 to 5 BPM. Realistically, I think you can definitely speed it up a little bit more and it'll still sound fantastic. And then after that, obviously this is just a whip, so we're really just getting the intro, break, build, drop, and then I guess really it's just one singular drop. So after that last like halftime section, I would go into another break and then go into another build and a secondary drop. Because right now you have a very solid kind of idea here. It just needs to be developed out further. So yeah, you have a very good start to the track. Really all you need to do is dive right into a break, let it vibe out a little bit, and then build it back up into a second drop. And I think you're solid. Good job, Keeve. Really dope idea here. Digging it. All right, do we have Onacity? Onacity in the chat. Onacity. Onacity going once. Going twice. Alright, no Onacity. Do we got Benjamin Button? Bada. Benjamin Button. Hell yeah. Caballo 420. Modo Anash. Alright, let's do it. Let's give this one a listen. Nice. Yeah, this is super sick. Whoa. Yeah, like this kind of like lo-fi hip hop definitely gives me Nujabes vibes, if you're familiar. It's super cool. I really dig it. Something you just kind of just like sit and like vibe out to. Almost kind of get lost in it, really. Yeah, the sampling here is super dope. I'm really digging the melodic stuff, the chords, the keys, all that good stuff. The drum groove is super solid. Structure and arrangement here is very nice. Really easy to follow along. You said it's not entirely mixed down. It sounds pretty clean so far. It would probably be pretty cool to get some sort of vocal in here. Even if it's not like a full-on lyricist or vocalist, even just some sort of like vocal sample would be pretty cool to play around with. For whatever reason, I'm thinking of like something like from an anime or some sort, you know. I think that would be pretty cool to have some sort of vocal chop in here. I don't know, kind of just go crazy with it. Just kind of think of something that you would feel would fit here. But I think having some vocal would definitely add some more character to it. I think it's a really dope idea to begin with. Honestly, I don't think you would really need to do much to it. Yeah, this is sounding fantastic. Yeah, good job, Benjamin Button. Hell yeah, very well done. All right, we got Onacity up next. Hell yeah, I think this is gonna be our last one of the night, gents. Yeah, it's our last one of the night. So yeah, let's give this one a listen, and then we're gonna call it quits.
Feel the rhythm, let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. Let's get Take my soul, take my money. People jumping, bottles popping. Take my soul, take my money. People jumping, bottles popping. Take my money, 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 take my money. Take my soul, take my money, feel the rhythm, let's get Let's get dirty.
Nice one. Yeah, super dope. Bass line, super solid groove. Really a big kick. Really digging the sound selection. I think you did a really good job with the vocal as well as the vocal processing. There's lots of really cool kind of wonky stuff you do with like the delays here. You get some really cool effects out of it. Super solid ear candy. I think a lot of the ear candy sounds work really well here. Very solid build in both builds, in the first build and the second build. Lots of really nice tension, lots of nice energy there. The drop is super solid. Yeah, he did a good job with variations, adding in some like really cool ear candy here and there. So definitely, definitely keeps some momentum and the energy moving forward. Super solid arrangement. Probably the only thing that I would mention about the arrangement is I think you could probably trim down both the intro and outro. I think you could probably trim it down by like 16 bars each, because it does start to get just like a little bit repetitive and loopy. So it's just like a simple thing of just like, prioritizing which sounds and, knowing when to like pull things out and, yeah, that kind of thing. One other thing that I noticed here is the second break, the vocal does fall off rhythm. It falls off rhythm a little bit. So really all it needs is some minor warping just so that you get it like on tempo. And you can use a click in Ableton just to make sure that the vocal is staying 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2,
Take my soul, take my money. People jumping, bottles popping.
It's the second half of that vocal phrase that falls a little bit off time. So yeah, just go back in there and try to warp it a little bit just so that it falls on your time. And you can use a click; it'll definitely help. But other than that, I really dig the vocal processing. I think it's really well done. Hell yeah, good job, Onacity. Well done, super dope tune. All right, with that was the last one of the night. So we're gonna call it quits. Thanks for everybody who submitted tunes and joined the stream. I'll be back again next Monday, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Pacific time here on Twitch. In the meantime, go join the Discord. I always announce the stream there, or go follow me on my socials. I always announce it there too. Yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your Monday night and the rest of your week.